Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Teddy, aka Jameskisau on MTGO, coming back for another donation bonus league. This one comes from donor Carl Drogo. They've been watching my content for some time and are more inclined to play Esper rather than Grixis. That being said, you'll see echoes of my Grixis control deck in this Esper list, such as Cling to Dust, Nimble Obstructionist, from the Catacombs over in the sideboard. So I'm expecting it to play pretty similarly to my list and not as much of a stretch as some of the other Esper or more generally white decks that have been submitted to me in the past. And yeah, we're pretty much looking at Esper control here. The mana base is notable in that there's no scrub land, but the numbers were run. This deck has been piloted before, so I'm going to trust that. It's not going to be a very important utility land, and we do have 2 Underground Seas and 2 Tundras to help round that out. So blue very much being the focal color, which shouldn't really surprise anyone, and mitigating that, which makes me feel a lot more comfortable also. We have a basic plains and a basic swamp, 2 basic islands, plenty of room to run with, and also nice if we happen to cast from the Catacombs at some point during this league, we'll definitely have a basic left to get, probably. Other cool slots include a second Tameo. I usually run one myself, but having two definitely doubles the chances of you being able to have a proactive turn one, which Grixis control almost never really does. Tameo is kind of watershed for that. I was not playing Legacy or really much Magic at all right after Modern Horizons 2, so I never got to experiment with like Ragavan or anything like that. But I have to imagine it felt pretty similar to playing Tameo on turn one. It's a very powerful thing, and something that your opponent has to respect if they're planning on taking the game past like turn 4. There's also a main board Spell Bomb, which might look a little funny, but even at its floor, it can cycle, unless your opponent has like Douthie Voidwalker or Leyline of Void or something like that. But even in matchups where it's not very relevant, cycling for 2, and pretty much every deck uses their graveyard in some capacity. It's very rare that Nile Spellbomb is truly, truly dead, and even more rare when it's kind of soft dead. One Snapcaster Mage. I've been on one Snapcaster Mage myself for a while, running 2, perfectly fine and viable, but I find myself enjoying just the one copy. For Bowmasters, of course, Baleful Strix. It's nice to see this card show up in other lists because I think it still packs quite a punch. A lot of people abandoned the card after Orcish Bowmasters got printed. I still find it quite powerful. And then the removal, you can't really beat it in white. Swords of Plowshares and Prismatic Ending, while maybe giving your opponent life is against the spirit of a deck that runs Lightning Bolt, it doesn't seem that strange in a deck that's trying to more definitively address the board and the stack and being able to answer whatever it is, regardless of size or keywords, except maybe hexproof, of course. Source of Plowshares is certainly a reason to play white when you're playing control. Now for the threats, this list is playing with Abhorrent Oculus, which is quite powerful. I think we have seen this card on the channel a few times before. I've played it in Grixis control. Super powerful bomb at 2 and a blue, and exile 6 cards from your graveyard. Not hard to do for this deck. You got a 5/5 with flying, and at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, you manifest Dread, which is look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your graveyard, and one becomes a 2/2 face down. And if that's a creature, you can pay its mana cost and flip it upside. Super powerful card. The window for interacting with this card favorably or even at parity is very small. You can kind of pick your moment when your opponent's tapped out, and then they're either forcing it, which costs them 2 cards, or you're getting a nice trigger on their upkeep. And then also Force of Negation is in this list, which is not a card I play super often, but with the meta so fast, it is nice to have multiple ways, or more than just 4 copies of free counter magic. Baragoyf, Kaito, we all know these cards. Over in the sideboard though, I'm really excited to play with Pest Control for the first time. It's kind of like Hidetsugu Consumes All in that it wipes all non-land permanents that are 1 CMC or less, but if it happens to be dead, you can pay 2 to cycle it, which is awesome. Cycling 2 was like the classic cycling cost when the mechanic was first introduced in Urza's Saga, so really cool card. Stony Silence is just incredible. When I played the MRSJ list, that was Esper. Stony Silence was a huge MVP. Just a really hard to stop something like this. It's like Null Rod, except kind of harder to interact with. I think artifacts are, for the most part, easier to interact with than enchantments. Disruptor Flute, first time this has been on the channel as well. Dress Down. Yeah, we're just ready to go here. And the fact that it has so much in common with my Grixis control deck, I'm really excited to play this league. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel as well, check out my Patreon. The link's down in the description. And if you want to send in your own donation bonus league, yeah, all that is on the Patreon. So yeah, let's get in there with Esper I, it was sent to me, titled. Welcome to the video, everyone. And here is the first match. I don't think this hand's that bad. I mean, I don't really have a ton of experience playing Esper, and I don't know how much white mana we're really going to want going forward. Or, I mean, we'll want blue. Yeah, sure. Making something completely non-interactive, like I could just cast Snapcaster Mage, get Kaito. In the insane situation I don't need to force even before that against a non-interactive deck. I could suck Snap back to my hand for my blue card for force, but I think we'll just do this instead. Just play very proactively. I'm not going to wasteland the Zagoth Triome. This might be a Beanstalk deck. Yeah, what if I just frickin' go for it? Is this insane? It probably is, because they might have Leyline Binding. But what if I made them have it? I've got a Planeswalker. I've got 2 Force of Wills. Come and get me. I will wasteland you off white. Yeah, I will. Another Beanstalk. Force of Will. I'm not done. There we go. So they're going to have a million more cards than me. We're going to see if it matters. Because I am on board. But yeah, that would have hilariously backfired if they did, if I didn't have that second Force of Will. Yeah, just take Prismatic Ending here. Wasteland there. Wasteland there. Heh, yeah. Quite far away from that Uro. I will end this game. Bowmasters, yep. I think I'll bend the Kaito, though. Gosh, what a crazy game. Ponder. This is how you should fight controlled, or Beanstalk decks, though. Just like an overwhelming amount of pressure. And by overwhelming, I mean hexproof. Okay, yeah, they're gearing up a little bit here. Spellbomb, it's not bad. I wonder if I just need to play Bowmasters, though. I feel like I probably do. Because then if they do find, they do have white in hand, but if they have to choose between swords and Leyline Binding on Kaito, that's pretty important to me. And if by some freak accident, excuse me, they are able to move towards Uro, I should have this Spellbomb ready. They might even force a negation this, I'm not sure. They do not. Wonder if they cast Uro here. No. Don't think this will work out. Oh, actually it might. They go to 1. Which I think makes a lot of their draws pretty precarious. And if I can find Bowmasters here... No, Strix is not bad either. I think I need to activate Spellbomb, though. Gets a little dangerous otherwise. Force of Will is off. If I can hit a black source here... No. Prismatic Ending, though. Is there any reason to cast this on a Beanstalk? What else would I use it for? Spending mana seems important. They might play Uro and Swords it. Okay. Looking for that Bowmasters off the top again, I suppose. Brainstorm. A little dangerous to do if they don't have Solitude here. Ooh, okay. The freak. Alright, that was not as clean as I was hoping. It got a little dicey towards the end, but I think the general idea still held water. From the Catacombs seems good. I don't know if I can afford to run 6 forces. I mean, these will probably be hard castable at some point in the game, but I feel like we got over the line on the back of only having drawn 3 lands pretty much, and the rest of it was action. So you could really choose to look at that any way you'd like. Yeah, I just can't really see myself subsiding on creatures, do nothing creatures. Even Oculus seems pretty dicey. Consign to Memory is like solid against Leyline Binding. Disruptor Flute. There's just too many things going on in this deck. But also, it's kind of nice to be playing swords because I don't feel like I need to bring in Surgical Extraction just to keep up with Uro, which is difficult for Grixis Control to do. But Esper, not so much. I do love me some Surgical Lines, though, against control decks. I just don't really think it's going to be necessary. I think I will take an aggressive stance, and I think I will have 6 forces and trim probably a Tammy. No, it should be a land. Yeah. Not Wasteland, though. Drawing both Wastelands was incredibly good there. One of the islands seems appropriate. Oh, I also really like Opposition Agent in this matchup. I suppose I will cut... No, I will not cut Nimble Obstructionist. I will not do that. I'll cut 1 swords. Maybe 2. I don't need to cut another one. Let's go like this on the draw. Yep. This hand is good. It's a little less good than the first one, because I do need additional lands from the top. I also doubt this deck's ability to play around Carpet of Flowers. I would go as far to assume it's non-existent. Ooh, Search for Azcanta. I wonder if this has like a Estrid's Invocation sub-theme. Search for Azcanta is very strong, it's true. Leyline Binding is very strong. None of this really happens without Up the Beanstalk, though, so we'll take that. And then, hopefully, they don't top deck Red Blast. Red Blast my Ponder and make life difficult. Or I could just top deck a land, that's also an option. There's Search for Azcanta. I'm not going to counter that, even though it does generate quite a bit of card advantage eventually. Okay. 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 Yeah, let's ask them to address this. Keeping a card. I assume they want to Leyline Bind the Tameo. No. I guess as Kanta and Uro are working against each other a little bit. Okay, they can Leyline Bind anyways. But they're down to not much. I'm gonna let it go. It's not time to force yet. I feel like best case scenario I find Cling or Nile Spellbomb. And worst case I just find another blue card. Yeah. There's also Prismatic Ending for Search. I don't know if they can pass up Uro though. Let's see what happens. That is something to consider. Like, they will have Uro again at some point. They continually surveil things into the graveyard. Mystic Sanctuary. I hope their last card's not like Flusterstorm. Can beat Spell Pierce. Was I even supposed to do that? Was I supposed to just swords? It's hard to say. Yep. Alright. Should be able to Kaito this game out now, depending on how well they draw. That's 2 bindings down. Oh, that's good. Bin the Cling. Take the Spellbomb. Spellbomb will be a little more value positive. Okay, the swords are piling up. There's a Force of our own. That's very good. I'll take that land drop too. Spellbomb. It's probably nicer to clip whatever they were gonna surveil with Azcanta if they were even going to at that point. But I want to make the land drop. Now I have a hardcast force. See if I can pick up another one. And we are outgrinding this control deck quite handily. Sure, I'll top again. Play a Bowmasters. Prismatic Ending. Yeah, I think I've gotten my exchange on Kaito at this point. I think we are good. It seems a little risky to fight to protect that. I don't know. I could be wrong. Alright, Oculus. Now we're at least getting that in the mix. Gotta remember my basic planes is gone. They've been prismatic ending. That is interesting. I guess they just needed a sweeper or bust at that point. Because yeah, if they prismatic end Oculus, they'd go to 3, get another turn. Alright. Pretty solid. Welcome back for match number 2 here. Hand is a little risky. The spells are good. I don't know. I'd rather not mulligan it. Opponent has Flooded Strand, Basic Island, Tameo. I feel like we're going to be seeing this a lot until the end of time. I don't like the thought of giving them a clue token. That's fine though. They can have a clue token if they set themselves back a land. Ooh, this actually would have been a reason to swords first and then prismatic ending. Because I can't swords the planeswalker side. But I was thinking about like Barrowgoyf and stuff like that. Nimble Obstructionist is very good at stopping the ultimate though. Wasteland does not apply just yet. Look for a black source. We hit. Hoping to dodge a Wasteland here. Yeah. Quite obviously, like, taking Orcish Bowmasters is the way to go here, I think. Ponder is attractive too, though, because then they can't look for a Wasteland or come across one at some point, I guess. And taking one of the forces, of course, does not make sense. Snapcaster Prismatic Ending, they probably force that. And then, yeah, I wouldn't want them to be able to just Bowmaster me after that. So yeah, I'll do that. So they want double force, maybe? Oh, I stacked it frickin' wrong. Yeah, I guess I'll cast Barrowgoyf instead. That's pressure. It's a little strange they didn't force that. I thought for sure they had like double force, and that's why they didn't cast Ponder. Double force, double blue card. Oh, they're Esper? Alright, yeah. Cool, cool. So there's no way Snap Prismatic Ending is going to work, so... Nimble Obstructionist it is. Card is good. No one really believes me, but... And they're going to expose their Bowmasters for us? How could this get any better? Okay. Can't cast Strix, obviously. Wastelanding seems pretty nice. Yeah, I feel like Wasteland, Swords, Tameo. Not in that order. Nice. Now I'm even wondering if I should Wasteland. Yeah, I think I should. Oh, they pitched the other force. I think that does make sense. I'll activate a clue token. Yeah, I can pretty nicely balance the board here. If I rip a land. Not that land. See if there's a blue card on top. Yeah. Play Strix. Send it back. Oh man. That is quite annoying. But I have the swords. They're exposing more Bowmasters. My life total is going to hold out, so yeah, I'm just not going to fight over it. Maybe even my own Bowmasters will show up. Just a lot of Swords to Plowshares. Somehow we were able to keep parity with that Tameo. They drew a card off the clue, but Nimble Obstructionist also drew a card. Well, I guess we took 1 damage and gave them a 1/1 counter on their army. But I don't know. I feel like we kept parity pretty darn well there. Ooh. Might take my Force of Will here. Taking Strix. I guess that does ask me to hit another blue card for Force to turn back on. Nice. I think I'll just shamefully... Oh, they're F6'd. Since they're F6'd, I wonder what's in their hand. Probably white cards if I had to guess. If they have to cantrip to find a white source, they might take some damage for that. Oh. Roiling Dragonstorm. It's this deck. Pokemoki was developing this deck. Looks very strong. The synergy with this card, any old dragon and then reanimate, seems quite good. Now it's my turn to get some Bowmaster triggers. After some tanking, they decided on Thoughtseize, and that makes sense. They might not want to expend the 2 life here. And they're fetching right away here. Yep. Alright, how about a Kaito off the top? That'd be great. Tameo's not bad either. But I'm thinking it should probably just be a blue card for Force. Try and get across the line here. And what dragons are they playing? Baraglyph? Ah, man, giving them 5 life. It's kind of like a time walk. But if they like Force to protect it, then we'll pretty much be zeroed out, you know? Did they just want me to use that swords? Is there something they'd rather establish on board? Ponder resolves. Well, they don't shuffle. They have a wasteland. That one's fine. Oh, they can take me off black, though? That's not so great. Murktide Regent, a popular dragon. Gotta force that. Hopefully whatever they're drawing is not good, because now they're stuck with it. That cannot surveil. So I guess I'll just hold that and bluff. Another Roiling Dragonstorm. Yep. Really staying in this. Ponder. Look for Kaito. Oculus has to be just good enough though, right? Like, I don't have to win right now. I can flood the board and get over the line, I think. Ugh, what if they have a daze, though? Well, then they have to top deck to win. I don't think they have a daze. Land, 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 land. Artifacts get out too. Because Baraglyph. Hide the wasteland. I don't want them to know that I have that many. Oh, I guess they'll see though. They'll see at the end of the game, but maybe they won't pay attention. It's got to be a shuffle here, right? Yeah. I mean, I feel like Oh, if they didn't have a land in hand, though, they can't shuffle and hit Barragoyf. And even if they hit Barragoyf, I guess I could just attack with the flyer. Wow. That was wild. Celestial Purge has to be good enough here, right? Maybe not. It might not be. From the Catacombs, obviously. Just make the swap from the Catacombs for Force Negation, and that's about it. Consign's pretty funny, like, you can technically counter Roiling Dragonstorm with Consign to Memory, but I can't really think of anything else. Maybe just similar to the last round, just bring in this Barragoyf, increase my threat density, and really limit cards that are tempo negative like Thoughtseize. It's not like the House of Cards Jeskai approach where like you can Thoughtseize them and they're like, oh, I have Pyroblast, Hydroblast, and Swords to Plowshares. Then you just take the one that's currently ruining your life. What's not to love about this hand, though? I guess the fact that they could wasteland my black source. But I also wanted to keep it. Oh, never mind. I want to keep it because I'd have something to do against an early Tameo this time and not have to rely on my one of Nimble Obstructionist. Take Barragoyf. I mean, yeah. I was like, what's even the point anymore? Playing a white deck. That's a good play. Let's get Baleful Strix out there. It's often too difficult to resist hitting it with Bowmasters, so I'll start the Bowmaster mirror off with me pretty far in the lead. Our Strix draw was not very good, but I guess just adding more raw materials to my hand is not bad. And now I'm acting like they're more tempo-y than me, which is probably true. I don't know how many Wastelands they're playing. I'm only playing 2. Nice. Yes, indeed. I think if I can keep the board clear until years from now, it's going to be really hard with the Bowmasters around. There's so many advantages to hitting this with Force of Will. I think they'll force back. Does that even matter, though? I'm going to hold it. More surveilling going on. So in case you didn't notice, this deck is, well, actually I already mentioned this in the deck tech, of course. This deck is inspired by what I've been working on. Only one surveil land, which I will now get. That is quite nice. And I guess I'll try and protect double black here if the game gets really scrappy. Because this would be the first turn it would make sense for them to expose a wasteland. Didn't have any non-basics last turn. I don't have Bowmasters. Well, maybe I do. I think they're trying to ninjutsu. Force pitch force. Is this where I fight, or do I fight just to get from the Catacombs in next turn? Probably that. But I will, like, Soars this. Oh, no Kaito. Okay, I think this is going to be pretty good unless they have days. Activating Flooded Strand. Brainstorm. Sure. Resolves. Let's try and keep the board. I say GG, only getting lands. Well, I don't think it's entirely GG per se. I mean, they also don't know I don't have force in my hand. But I also just didn't want to say anything because that seems rather cold. What could they draw here? Well, whatever it is, like, I do think my advantage will be cemented by next turn. But yeah, I mean, they didn't shuffle. It's not GG yet. I'm assuming they got Bowmasters, because that's how this works. So we'll forge. Or will we? Maybe we'll lost well. They're at 14. And I probably don't attack if they have Bowmasters. Yeah, it's lost well. Just take more Bowmasters. How important is Cling to Dust? Probably not very. Now let's grab Baragoyf. Leaving swords in the graveyard. And we'll get that treasure token in the stash, which will allow us to cast Bowmasters. I see no reason to attack. Yep. Roiling Dragonstorm. I'll play these Bowmasters. Alright. So far, deck's performing quite well. Couple of blue mirrors. Welcome back for round 3. I'm playing against Rift Bolt with an 80 card deck, so the blue mirrors may continue. Although I will say that Yorion, I think, is more commonly seen in Death and Taxes. I will have to mulligan, which is unfortunate. This is kind of dicey as well. Opponent's also taking a mulligan, which is good. I think the bottom should be Snapcaster Mage. Opponent's down to 5. I'll do what I know how to do. But we really need a land before we can really do anything. Caracas. Aether Vial. I'll Force of Will. Come on, land. One time. Oh my god! I don't think I can flip Tameo, but countering that Aether Vial is probably going to make them at least reticent to use Caracas as a removal spell. Or more like a bounce, to be honest. How bad is Basic Plains? I don't want a string of Wastelands to end this. It's actually pretty bad. I'm holding the Strix. Yeah, whatever. Sure. Actually, much prefer that. Well, kind of. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Okay. Yeah, we're going for that. Land? It's not too late. I can still hit one next turn. Please? Oh, yeah. This is sus, though. I'm not gonna pretend like it's not sus. Solitude. Yeah. It's pretty nice when they have to do that. Okay. They're gonna scoop it up. I was barely curving out. Death and Taxes. You shouldn't bring in Stony Silence, but Consign of Memory is fine. Dress Down, maybe? Pest Control, yeah. Although, what are even their 1-drops after Aether Vial anymore? The amazing thing about Pest Control is that cycling, though. I'm gonna bring it in. Catacombs, Opposition Agent, Disruptor Flute, Trim Baragoyf, Oculus, Force of Negation. Nile Spellbomb. Narset. Maybe the other Oculus too. How does it pay to be incredibly controlling? How about Tameo instead? I mean, why does Dress Down feel so good to me? It's probably not. If Dress Down's not like trading for a whole card, like we already have Consign to Memory. I'm gonna bring the Oculus back. We got lucky. They had an unlucky mulligan to 5. Now our hand's not bad. The mobility is a little light, but I feel like Flute on Vial has got to drive them a little crazy. I love Prismatic Ending in this matchup too. They'll send it back. Force of Will. The thing about this matchup is you don't need to Thoughtseize on one. If I can play her on Wasteland, I'd really like to. We might actually be facing like Overlord of the Balemerc. Okay, I'm gonna Thoughtseize. Change my mind. Can Brainstorm first. No Bowmasters. Certainly interesting. Put back Cling and I think Disruptor Flute. I'm not gonna sit around and try and guess what they're having, what they have. And it's kind of late for an Aether Vial. Oh. Felia. I think I need to let that go. What are the odds that their hand is 3 Overlords? Okay. I'll have to force anything they do. Pray they don't hit a land. Although if they hit a land, they might just be incentivized to cast Recruiter of the Guard. That's a very good hand. We'll force a will. And they'll probably Thoughtseize. Alright, I mean, things continue to kind of work out for us here. I never like removing legendary creatures. It feels futile. They don't Thoughtseize me. They must have drawn Bowmasters. Or another Felia. Yeah, that's not good. We love Nimble Obstructionist. It's really all I have to say. I don't need to worry about Recruiter now. No, that's the right answer. My mana's about to get very cramped. And I know there's gas on top. It's good stuff. Yeah. Wasteland your Caracas. Move phases. Ah, Wasteland. Continues to be my favorite card I don't play. I love it so much. It's certainly the reason I enjoy Legacy. Alright, we'll get in our Kaito here. Get that Bowmasters back. Tough one. I don't want to lose my only basic swamp, but I also don't want to play it out. No, that's just silly. That's just actually silly. Yep. This card's incredibly dangerous in a deck with so many flicker effects. So I'm just going to do this now. Before they put anything in their hand. And they knew Bowmasters was there. It's not like it's really going to influence their decision. Skyclave Apparition is quite good against Kaito. We need to, like, counter it, I guess. That's not going to help. Alright, a little help. Nice. Top, top. Catch 22. I guess I'll take the formal wear, right? You get one choice. Yep. I still have attacks with this Orc army, though, because, like, do they really want to give me a 4/4? I might leave them no choice. Oh, that's quite good. You can probably guess what I drew. Do that. Put them to 2. Or 1, excuse me. Then I got the reach. So I guess I could have played out this delta. They're not going to thought seize me from here. Bit of a free win there. I apologize that my opponent's deck didn't really function all that well. But yeah, the deck is performing extremely well. At least this deck is performing well. Alright, so unfortunately, at the head of match 4 here, we shall be mulliganing. I don't see much to get excited about this hand anyways, so... Opponent's keeping 7, that's not good. This hand is also rough, but... I'm not going to go to 5. I think it'd be nice to be a little diverse in what I keep. So as much as like 3 Bowmasters often can win a game, I'm going to keep 2 Strix, 2 Bowmasters. One of the Strix will probably get pitched to force. Ooh, Savannah? Nomads? Certainly a Nadu deck. I need my land. Shoot. Alright, well, we'll see if we can survive. They might go Cephalid here, just like... Oh, hello. This is not Cephalid Breakfast. This is probably like Nadu mid-range. And luckily I have multiple Bowmasters, so... we have a real shot at being able to take out these cards. I think I need to bin this Wasteland. I need a black source. Which is insane. Not a black source. Okay. This is awkward. Hedge Maze. Not surprising. Guy's Cradle. Green Sun for 1. I'm assuming they're going to go for Allosaurus Shepherd. Unless it's not in the deck, then they might get Sylvan Safekeeper, which is just as bad, let's be honest. So we'll do that. They had the Nadu. We can probably scoop it up. This was an unfortunate game. I feel like we could have stopped this. Given our hand, but yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I'm not sure about taking a mulligan to 5 in the blind. I'm really not sure. But I don't think this deck has Allosaurus Shepherd in it. Alright, you got 6 cards. Calm down. Alright. Court of Calling. Well, actually, there's a Curion Ranger and a Collector who probably does have Allosaurus Shepherd. For a second, I thought it was the kind of Nadu mid-range deck, but I should have actually known it was not that after I saw Gaia's Cradle. Okay, so Pest Control seems pretty darn good. Disruptor Flute. Opposition Agent's very good. So is Barragoyf, because I can't really run removal. Dress Down. Could buy us a turn. Although not even really, right? Because as soon as they untap, they'll start activating Nomad's Encore. That's tricky. That's probably better than certainly Cling and Spellbomb. What other cuts may there be? Probably Narset. Nimble Obstructionist. It's not really about one big trigger here. Like Craterhoof Behemoth is not really the point of the deck any longer. I think I would trim one Kaito as well. Having an unblocked creature is not likely. Oh man. I mean, the double Ponder should be able to find me some black mana this time. And this is a pretty fast Oculus too. Although, oh, hold on. There are no fetch lands. Whoops. I mean, it would be a fast Oculus if there were fetch lands. And maybe I should have let on Tundra. Like, what if I need to Pest Control next turn? That seems unlikely to me. Alright. Gaia's Cradle. Be on the lookout for that one. Green Sun Zenith for Dried Arbor. Yep. Pest Control does not hit that one. Cast Brainstorm. Opposition Agent is very good. That should be our first priority. I'll force pretty much anything that happens next turn, and then if I can just shut down that engine. But if it, I mean, I don't know, if it's something that doesn't really seem worth it, like that, then instead if I could force to protect the opposition agent, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Alright, I wouldn't mind a scrub land here, I must say. Alright, do I wait for them? I guess so. Is this Endurance? No, it's Court of Calling. Very well. Shut it down. What's in your hand? I don't see a Dismember in here. There is a Lavinia. I think that's pretty much the extent of their interaction, it looks like. Shoot, well, I guess I'll just take what? Birds of Paradise? Noble Hierarch is likely a little better. Yep. I think I'll just cast Pest Control next turn. This is a fine time. Let's make sure, like, nothing too crazy happens either. Turn off the Cradle. Yeah, they're just done. The other side of the matchup. Ah, man. Yeah, those search effects, they're playing quite a few of them. Like, not only do they have Court of Calling, but they have Nature's Rhythm, which I guess is just better than Finale of Devastation. I guess so. Or the Invasion of Ikoria. Oh, there is a Craterhoof Behemoth. The freak. Okay, so I think I do bring in Surgical on the draw. Extracting Nadu just makes this deck. We still have Craterhoof, but They'll have a really hard time generating card advantage if I extract Nadu. There's no Glimpse of Nature. There's no Elvish Visionary plus Wirewood Symbiote. The classics. I wonder if I just need Force Negation. Technically gives me a few more outs to their Nadus. If it's Green Sun Zenith. I might not have the right window to hit like Court of Calling if they do it on my turn. Alright, let's trim Strix. I suppose maybe Prismatic Ending. I don't know if that's wise. How about Tameo? Yeah, man, I think just one Force Negation is fine. I'm getting a little too lost. This one is almost there. How much do I want to trust Brainstorm to be able to do this? Can I just get an opening hand with swords, actually? No? Well, I guess Thoughtseize is fine. Same with Pest Control, that card is good. No matter what next turn, I think I just go fetch land. Get this Oculus going as soon as possible. See your hand. It's quite good. Definitely take the Zenith and hope they just play more Allosaurus Shepherds. But I already showed them the Pest Control from last game. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I feel like... I don't know, it really feels like... If I draw Force of Will, I'm in good shape. Second Oculus is pretty bad. But, I mean, I do have a Brainstorm. Might be able to get rid of it. Bang. That was pretty good. No play. Ponder? Let's Brainstorm first. That was bad. No, it wasn't. Turns out. Can't Thoughtseize the top of the deck, can ya? Yeah, just get one of these Thoughtseizes out of here, I think. Well, that all depends, I think. Oh yeah, take that. Good God. Look for Surgical or Force of Will. I mean, try and dodge. Nature's Rhythm. That would be what? Dried Arbor? Yep. Snapcaster Mage. I think it would take more than one draw to win from here. They have Prismatic Ending in hand. Let's do this. Okay. See if I can make it. Surgical's right there. Like I wouldn't even care if they oh, what did they draw? Nature's Rhythm. They got a lot of good choices. Carry On Ranger. It's a good choice. But I feel like if I extract Nadu, I'll probably have time to pull this off, right? I really want a Force of Will so badly. I think I'll shuffle. Wait, no, I'll take the land. Swords the Carry On Ranger. And I think it's too dangerous to let them untap, honestly. Don't think I let them. Oh, wait, could I have put a wasteland in my hand? God, that's so good. I mean, luckily, like, my army is ever expanding as well, but they're about to have a lot of mana and creatures. Yeah, I screwed that up. I could have. I mean, wastelanding them doesn't even seem that good, though. There's the Force of Will I wanted so bad. It was just a little too late. All right. Do that. It's possible I won't have to force. I don't think it's going to be about either of these cards. Dress down, maybe. I feel like as long as I can stop a Crater Hoof from entering this turn, I will be fine. And I think that's somewhat likely, seeing as 3 Allosaur Shepherds are in the graveyard. None of their creatures have reach either. Oh, but they can use Prismatic Ending to remove a Abhorrent Oculus. They can get a Savannah with Wood Foothills. I guess I'll just force. Everything will be up, face up at that point. Don't think they'll pay this time. God Flying is good. That should do it. Very nice. We're up for a trophy. Folks, we're in the trophy round on the play. It is the next day. I really wanted to do this trophy round justice. This hand is pretty solid. So I decided to get some sleep. Opponent's taking a mulligan. Down to 5. I wonder if a combination of Force of Will and Wasteland will effectively handle our opponent. I think regardless, we should put them to the test and immediately start applying pressure via this Tameo. See what we have to do. Urza's Tower. Yeah, I think Wasteland will be pretty good. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to discern whether you want to go after Nexus or Tower, because Nexus does more. Nexus is a locus if they're playing Cloud Post. That being said, I don't have priority to keep them off 4 mana if they just go ahead and play a Nexus next turn, so I'd also like to be dealing damage. I could just plan on forcing whatever they do. And then say if like they play a Force of Will, or I mean a Cloud Post, I'll have a better idea of which land I'm interested in waste landing here. Because yeah, the pressure is rather important. Oculus is pressure. I just don't know when I'm going to get to cast it. I'm going to do the obvious thing. Just do it. Maybe I'll draw a better blue card to pitch next turn. Well, that's debatable. That's extremely debatable. Saga. Well, that's pretty good. Defense grid. Well, that's not good. If I'm not forcing this, I'm probably not forcing much. Unless I have another land coming. Yeah, I guess I just forced this. I'll pitch Oculus. And then let's deploy the Bowmasters here. Start applying pressure. Although they don't have another artifact out, I wonder if it makes sense to just activate a clue token. I don't really think it does. I think my mana gets a little tied up no matter what. Brainstorm will flip Tamiyo. I suppose I'll leave white available to me. That was not a good brainstorm. I'm officially kind of frightened. But if I can survive the next turn and get my Force of Will back, maybe. Pedal. Manifold Key. They tapped their Saga to do that. Please play a Fleshraker. Damn. Okay. Yeah, I got that Force of Will. Hit for 2. I'm hoping they get like Pithing Needle here. The Workshop taps for 2 right now and then never again. They could make a construct as a way to like use their mana in a way that doesn't allow me to Force of Will. Yep. I really don't like the idea of giving them 4 life. But it doesn't make sense in the other way. Like, they're going to be able to... I should have done it right then and there, because now I gave them a point of life I didn't have to. Ah, crap. In the interest of mana efficiency, though, I guess I don't need to do it right now. Draw through that darn Brainstorm lock. Oh, what? No, you can't do that. Ponder. Well, unfortunately, my hand is so bad. I think I'm absolutely due to hit a land, am I not? Yeah. Put back one of the Ponders. Try and hit a Force here. Having deja vu that I picked the wrong land. Wasteland. Ah, man. I don't know. I don't think Wasteland is good enough here. Maybe it is, though. I got 1 card left. I do get another Force next turn with Tamiyo. I think we can do better. Yikes. Alright. Well, they're back at 20. I personally can't wait to sight in some stony silence. Where's this tower? Do you have a payoff? Oh, it's Mystic Forge. Oh, that one's pretty good. Already they got a Lotus Petal off the top for free. And a Glaring Fleshraker. Shit is absolutely falling apart. I had a sinking feeling that we had lost the second that Brainstorm lock happened. Alright, if I can remove this with Bowmasters, that would be great. Alright, I say no way. Well, I guess Snap Swords it is. Play this. If there's a Force on top of my deck, there's not. I would have just grabbed that. Ah, I should have kept the Oculus. Everything is just crumbling in my hands. Give me that Force. And then I will Snap Swords this Fleshraker and hope they brick with their Mystic Forge a little bit. But giving them all this life is just like so against how I usually play this matchup. And I acknowledge that part of it was my fault. Like I could have plowed that construct before that artifact resolved. Although that would have kind of like not been very mana efficient. Karn, can I even fight over this? I feel like no. Where did that planar nexus come from? Oh, they just played it? They're just getting every single thing they need now. Okay, so that's a good sign. They finally bricked. Lotus Petal number 5, it seems. It's also a good sign when they untap their Mystic Forge, because that means they need to clear stuff, and it's key activations. You don't really want to use those on Mystic Forge. Karn is gonna -3 here. Oh, and Snaring Bridge? I'm not incredibly optimistic that I can just top deck like Prismatic Ending, nor am I convinced that's better than deploying Bowmasters here. Untapping the Forge again. Did you hit? Yeah, kind of. Oh boy. That was a good draw. Bowmasters. And Bowmasters. So now the One Ring becomes incredibly taxing. And I'm going to divide it up like this. If something really weird happens and they remove one of these creatures, at least Karn can't make a wish and stick around. Alright. I'll probably win from here. But I've done what I can. Maybe there are 3 lands on top of their deck. Oh, there's Karn. There was a Karn on top of their deck. Paradox Engine. That's pretty good. I might be wrong, but I think they still need a ring before they really go infinite here. They're working through their lands. Okay, they found their ring. It's pretty much over. I mean, the Bowmaster pings are so plentiful, I can snipe Flushraker. They might have a semi-hard time. They probably just want to get protection. Like, I doubt they're gonna like actually tap that. They're looking for Kozilek's Command, of which they've only seen 1. So yeah, the odds are not good. I don't really see what Lattice accomplishes here, but I'm glad they don't have something like Walking Ballista in their sideboard, I suppose. It seems incredibly unlikely for them to brick from here. They're just going to pass, though. I will attack. Oh wait, no, I won't. They have protection, so I'll attack Karn. Yeah. Yeah, it seems pretty free for them. I'm worried I won't be able to pull this off. I'm not sure if I've ever faced this deck on Esper before. They don't have protection anymore. Alright, so Stony Silence, Consign, Force Negation, Pest Control, Disruptor Flute, Opposition Agent is not horrible. Alright, it's over. Oh dear. I mean, this deck actually does mulligan quite well. It really only needs to resolve 1 spell to get there. And yeah, the Mystic Forge just was able to string things together just narrow enough that they got over the line. I wonder if Prismatic Ending is any good. I think as a 2-of it should be fine. Stony Silence, Consign, Force Negation, Pest Control, Disruptor Flute. Maybe not Opposition Agent. I think we actually have better tools than that. Although it is a flash creature, which is quite handy. Don't need the Strix. Or Baragoyf. I'm kind of scared to cut a land, especially on the play. Stony Silence. That one seems good to me. I think I can cut another Sword to Plowshares. really does not do the bolt thing against Glaring Fleshraker. Giving them life was pretty crucial, huh? Yeah, there's no force. Maybe I can not ponder in one because that's my only blue card. But yeah, I'll just like play Stony Silence and see where that gets us. I could even bluff Consign. That might be important. No, we probably do ponder just because mana is so scarce. Do that. But I say we keep no matter what. I suppose it wouldn't even be that bad if they happen to resolve something. Alright, so here we go. Nice. Kind of start to wonder what their deck is capable of. Well, there's that. I'll be prismatic ending that right away. Yeah, Scrubland would actually be pretty nice here. Like, they can't possibly have that many permanents that aren't affected by Stony Silence. Like, I feel like if I put Disruptor Flute on Urza's Saga, they'll have a hard time winning. Yeah. I guess I'm putting Flute on Karn. Portable Hole. Probably have to Thoughtseize and take that. Yeah. This Kozilek's command is also quite annoying. Karn, the great creator. Mystic Forge. Still not such a bad card, really. They can still cast stuff off the top of their deck. It's quite good. No. Pass. Nimble Obstructionist, that's a good one. Clockwise. I think I need to snap Thoughtseize and probably take that Kozilek's command, I think. Yeah. It's like one of the, so they have so few cards that aren't affected by Stony Silence. In fact, most of them were in their hand. They are storming off the top. I'm looking for Force of Will here. Pest Control. Quite bad. Shuffle this. There we go. That's the card I wanted. We're ignoring Karn. Putting lethal on board, backed up by Force. Ancient Tomb, that was off the top. Oh wait, excuse me, this is not lethal. He'll put them to 1. Unless I top deck another Bowmasters, which is good enough for them. Alright, so yeah, Stony Silence on its own, clearly not good enough, because they do have Portable Hole, but that does require them to resolve Karn. I don't think I'm allowed to keep a hand that does not have Force of Will or Force Negation. I don't think I'd change anything here. Is Pest Control good? I mean, a key wipe is not bad. We all love a good key wipe. Don't need both basic islands though. So if I can have one more point of interaction here, but what should it be? I guess Opposition Agent. Look at it like that. Or it's more like that, huh? Alright, if I'm looking at it like this, yeah. Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, it has Force of Will in it. They're keeping 7. This is not good enough. This does not have Force of Will in it, but damn it, I think it's good enough. God, being on the draw. Monolith. They're coming out pretty hot here. It's not expecting this on 7. I wasn't expecting them to go like with a force check here. The One Ring. So they'll have 2 turns of that with a Voltaic Key before I can even resolve Stony Silence. I think we just lost. I think I fucked up. And I should have kept the first hand and forced the One Ring. Damn it. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Force of Will. I'm still gonna fucking try. I guess their mana's a little light if that's their land drop. Untapping Grim Monolith, Glaring Fleshraker. I don't think I can fight over that one, can I? It seems ridiculous too. Although it might give them mana. No. Drawing Bowmasters. I think that'll eventually ambush them. Defense Grid. I don't think I'll be ambushing this thing anymore, huh? I don't think I can force this either, though. Well, then I'm not forcing anything. Yeah, it can make some future turns rather poor. God, man. Swear to God, if they draw some Lotus Petals from here. Yeah. Good lord. Should have forced the Fleshraker. Just entirely fucked this up. I should have kept the first hand. I should have forced the Fleshraker. Now they have a Karn. Literally nothing matters. They can just grab Portable Hole or whatever. Yeah, I'm tired of watching this person play with themselves. Alright, ended out 4-1. Very unfortunate ending that I screwed up. I should have kept the first hand. I did not think they were just going to force check out and out. But I guess if you're on the play, you should just jam. Well, I mean, that's just like one of those coin flips that you'll have to take sometimes when you're playing a deck like this. Like, if you really think your opponent's just going to jam into your Force of Will deck, just mulligan for force. But that hand was not good. It was 4 lands, a swords, and then force blue card. So I think the second hand was a lot better, provided they didn't jam, but they did, so. Oh man, I hate losing trophies. Not bad for my first outing with the deck. Oh man, I'm gonna go cool down after that, but thanks so much for sending the deck in. It's obviously clearly very great, and in more skilled hands, I think this could have been an easy 5-0. So yeah, check out the Patreon. Please submit your own list if you want to see me run them. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.